Hi, welcome to my channel. So today I'm here to talk about two newly released YA contemporaries. Both of these were released in the beginning of the summer, and I read both of them like the end of June, beginning of July, so I thought that I could hop on here and do a quick review of them. This will be completely spoiler free, so you can still go on and read the books after if you would like to, but the first book that I'm going to review is Save the Date by Morgan Matson. And you can see that it got a little chewed up because when I just got this book, we had just picked up our black lab puppy, and she was 10 weeks at the time, and got a hold of one of my books, this book, when I wasn't paying attention, and chewed it up, which is kind of fitting because there was a dog on it. Unfortunately, my signed first edition is a little destroyed. Needless to say, I have been doing better at making sure that my books are not left on the couch. I received this in my book box for the month of June, and I thought it was a really cute book. I did enjoy it. At times I laughed. If you do not know, this book is about a girl named Charlie whose family is coming home because Charlie's sister is getting married. It's been a long time since everyone has been at the house, and the parents have put the house up for sale, and so this is kind of like the last hurrah before they sell the house. And so Charlie is upset by the house being sold, is really looking forward to this wedding because all of her siblings will be in town. However, everything that could possibly go wrong does, and because of that, I just felt like it was a little over the top. I was a little disappointed that nothing could go right. I wanted to be like, come on, this isn't real life. Nothing this extreme would really happen again and again and again. And the other thing that kind of bothered me was, as an educator, the first thing I look to see is if there are like age recommendations, and right on the inside flap it says this is good for ages 12 and up. I just found that not to be true. Pretty much because of the opening scene. The first chapter of this book is a pretty steamy scene. Because of that, I wouldn't put this in the hands of a 12-year-old. I just think that as a teacher, I would get in trouble, and I really try to use those age recommendations because I can't read every single book I put on my shelf. I look to see if it is appropriate or not and for what grades. So to see this to be ages 12 and up, I don't think that that's necessarily true. If it didn't have the first scene, it would be okay. So as a teacher, I'm like, why did you put that first scene in there? And I get that it helps Charlie kind of grow, and it helps set up some of the rest of the book, and I understand that. However, it didn't have to go as far as it did. For me, that just really brought this book down because now I am more hesitant to put it on my classroom shelf. I will, but it will be in my high school section. I'll have to monitor more what students are taking this book out and if it is appropriate for them. Like I said, I did think that this was a cute book. I don't have any intention of ever reading it again. I think that Charlie did grow. There were some really funny parts, as I said. I did laugh a few times, and so it wasn't a terrible book. I wasn't blown away by it. So I'm only giving this a 3.5 out of 5 stars. And again, part of that is just from my educator's perspective that now I have to be more cautious with putting it on my shelf, even though it's advertised as 12 and up. I think really this is more 14, 15 plus, and I'm sure there are going to be people out there who disagree with me, but that's just what I think as an educator. So the second book that I wanted reviewed for you today is The Way You Make Me Feel by Maureen Goo. I received this in one of my book boxes earlier this summer. I didn't want to read it, however, I was between books and I just happened to pick it up and start it, and I really enjoyed it. I love the main character. Her name is Clara, and she is sassy and spunky and loves to play tricks, and her tricks end up getting her in trouble. She ends up causing some damage at prom. So her dad makes her work on their food truck. It's called the Cobra. They own this food truck, and so her dad makes her work on it with her arch enemy. Together they have to work the entire summer to help pay off the debts that they created at their prom. And so her arch enemy, Rose, is sentenced to this punishment too. They end up forming a friendship, and I really did enjoy that. I think that this book is a great one for students to read because not only is it funny and entertaining, but the character also does grow throughout the course of this, and she starts off absolutely hating Rose, and then they end up forming some sort of friendship. And I think that's important for students to realize that just because you didn't like somebody at one point doesn't mean that you can't become friends later on. I am always trying to give books to my kids that have some sort of moral lesson, and I think this would be a great one, especially because, as I said, it is pretty funny. This book is appropriate for the classroom. There were no steamy scenes. I think there might have been an occasional like bad word, but really it was fine. I will absolutely put this in my classroom. I'm not going to advertise it for like my 7th graders, but you know, my 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th graders, all of them will have access to this book, no problem. So I would give this book a 4.5 out of 5 stars because I can put it right into my classroom, but I also love the growth of the main character and how she changed. And there were just some scenes that just made me really laugh. So again, I did really enjoy this. Don't worry, Rose and her becoming somewhat friends is not a spoiler. It's actually right here on the inside cover. So again, I gave Save the Day by Morgan Matson a 3.5 out of 5 stars, and I gave The Way You Make Me Feel by Maureen Gu a 4.5 out of 5 stars. I thought both of these books were cute. One is more classroom appropriate than the other, but in general, I did enjoy them. Thank you for watching my video. Let me know, have you read either of these books? Did you enjoy them? Did we kind of think the same thing? So leave a comment below and let me know what your thoughts were. If you plan on reading these books, let me know. And I will be back soon with more videos. So as always, keep reading.